What's up, it's your boy, I know Mercy the Mad Hatter, here today to talk about, not the Game Awards exactly, because honestly I don't really care. I would genuinely be surprised if anyone actually still cared about the Game Awards in any real, meaningful capacity, because, like, the only thing I really know is that Red Dead Redemption 2 won a bunch of awards, but then God of War 4 got Game of the Year, so fuck it, I don't know. Pretty much the only thing anyone really cares about the Game Awards for are the new trailers that they always show to announce any new games that are coming up, and for the most part, it seems like, with one or two exceptions, all of these actually seem like new games, not whole new IPs. But for the most part, they're all new games that are just being announced now. I mean, obviously there are a few that we already knew about and we're just getting more information on, and I will get to those. But for the most part, it seems like most of these I've never heard of before now, and maybe that's because I haven't been keeping up on gaming news as much as I probably should, or I don't know, but a lot of these actually seem really interesting. So, we're gonna get into that. We're gonna go down the list, got them all written right here, and we're gonna see what I think about them all. So, first thing I actually want to talk about is Ancestors, the Humankind Odyssey. Now, I really have no desire to play this game. In fact, a lot of these I'm not actually going to spend a whole lot of time on because I either don't care about them or don't know, or there wasn't enough information provided in the trailer shown for me to have a solid opinion on. But Ancestors is... Okay, so here's the thing. It's clear that, like, everyone knows that Africa was essentially the cradle of civilization. You can trace almost every source of human ancestry back there, and this is the thing that I can't get over personally. This is the first game that I know of, independent or AAA, that is set in Africa, and the characters are monkeys. Now, I'm not saying that there's some sort of double meaning behind that, like, oh, they're saying that black people are fucking monkeys. No, this makes sense from a practical concept standard. If we're going from the evolutionary ladder where humanity came from, we are essentially highly evolved primates. So, yeah, you kind of have to do that if you're going with this premise. I'm just saying, the first widely known game set in Africa, or an area resembling Africa, is about fucking monkeys. I know that some people are gonna say, oh, what about Assassin's Creed Origins? That took place in Africa. Yeah, yes, okay, fucking yes. Egypt is in Africa, but when people say that they want something with African characters, or set in Africa, or with African influences, they aren't talking about fucking Egypt, they're talking about people who look like me! And that's what I want, more games where the majority of cast is black. And not just Grand Theft Auto fucking San Andreas where they're all criminals. Don't get me wrong, I like Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. In fact, it's the only Grand Theft Auto game to date that I've actually completed. I'm just saying, a little bit of fucking variety would be good, and I would actually like for someone to mine the incredible well that is African culture and history. Is that really too much to fucking ask?
Driving around the get your crystal driving around the city, get your flirting with the girl.
Okay, so that was had nothing to do with any of this. I'm sorry. I have a lot of opinions on this. I have many feelings. That will not happen again. I promise. Alright, so something I'm actually kind of interested in is Hades. It looks like a Diablo-style roguelike game where you're actually playing as the son of Hades trying to escape the underworld. And, I mean, it looks fine. It looks like any game like I just described would probably look like. I actually really do like the art style and the designs. The design of the main character, I do know his name, but I can't remember what the fuck it is. He actually does look interesting, and it looks like you're actually going to be able to interact with the other Greek gods in order to gain new powers and abilities and weapons and stuff like that. So, like, yeah, I can absolutely dig this. It's by the same dude that made Bastion, I believe. And, like, I've never played Bastion, but from what I've seen and what I've heard about it, this looks right up their alley and something I probably would have enjoyed. But yeah, Hades, that's definitely something. Another big announcement that I'm actually very personally interested in is Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. I've never actually played the first two Ultimate Alliance games, but like, I know about them. I just didn't have the opportunity. I didn't have an Xbox. I didn't have a PlayStation 3 until like 2005 or no 2014. I didn't have an Xbox 360 until PlayStation 3 until 2014. So yeah, I didn't exactly have a lot of opportunities to actually play the fucking thing. But first Ultimate Alliance on PlayStation, whatever. So yeah, not a lot of experience with this game, but I'm always excited for it. I think this is a good move from Marvel's perspective to have a game like this, especially with the dearth of. Not all of them are bad, but they've made a lot of fucking mobile games. None of which I've played, none of which I really have much of an interest in. Future Fight, though, looks vaguely interesting. I probably could have gotten into that, but the fact that they're actually making another fucking console beat 'em up like this, it's actually pretty cool, and I'm okay with the art style. It's not great, but it's functional. It looks nice. Graphically, it's kind of not. It's not good. It's actually graphically, it's pretty bad actually. I think they're using the same engine from one of the mobile games for this, so that, yeah. But in all of the different characters that they showed, it looks like they did show Wolverine, so the X-Men are going to be in this at least. We didn't see anything about the Fantastic Four, though. So I don't know if they're going to be in this. The mutants definitely are, thank God. Because the whole separating because Fox is being petulant, which is actually odd that they showed Wolverine and the Sentinels and the X-Men, meaning that yes, we are definitely going to be using the X-Men in this, when the X-Men movies are actually doing okay. Like, nowhere near as good as the main Marvel Cinematic Universe, but Logan was good, Deadpool was good, I've heard somewhat good things about the last few X-Men movies, like Apocalypse and Days of Futures Past, and First Class was actually legitimately good. That one was actually pretty good. But, like, Fantastic Four has been a goddamn train wreck for Fox ever since they had it. Like, Fox has yet to make a good Fantastic Four movie, so I'm surprised that they haven't just sold that off yet. Like, you'd think that they'd think that Fantastic Four is just a fucking poisonous garbage property, and they can't do anything with it. So, like, I'm surprised that they haven't just signed it over to Marvel, before the acquisition last year or earlier this year. So I'm surprised we haven't seen any of the Fantastic Four in this yet, or even Doctor Doom from the villain side. The villains are actually kind of interesting because a lot of the Earth-based villains actually have Infinity Stones. That's what this is. It's kind of tiny. It's kind of riding the coach. It's kind of riding the trail of Infinity War hype. So it's about the Infinity Gems and the Black Order and Thanos and all that. But they also have other villains like Green Goblin, Sandman, Kingpin, Ultimo. So that's all great. It's also only on the Switch, which I found surprising. That, I think it's weird that it's only on the Switch, but apparently Nintendo's the only one who was willing to back it, and it was developed by Team Ninja. So the gameplay's gonna be good at least, if nothing else. And arguably, that's the most important thing, but it's a very weird situation with Marvel Ultimate Alliance. I'm still looking forward to it, but it's a very weird situation. We also have a little bit more information on Devil May Cry 5, which I haven't talked a lot about, but I'm more or less excited. I think it looks good, graphically, gameplay-wise. I'm still a little bit iffy on Nero's new mechanical hands. Like they seem cool, but I'm curious how, everything they can do with that. They could do something really cool, interesting with it. But so far it looks pretty decent. Apparently we do have a little bit more information on the story. It's that the Devil May Cry agency is hired by this new character, V, because either he knows about or he heard about some new powerful demon being summoned that they have to stop. And V is actually one of the playable characters in this. So you have Dante, Nero, and this new V dude. And Dante and Nero both play more or less how you expect them to. Not a lot has changed there, other than, Nero's new hand. And Dante's double trigger seems to have evolved since the last game, because now we can actually fly, or at least glide short distances, and that's kind of cool. V is probably the most interesting new character because he isn't a fighter like Dante or Nero is. He doesn't have a sword or a gun or anything like that. And I don't know if he can get new devil arms like Dante and Nero can. His gameplay style seems to be more focused on summoning these three demonic entities that he has working for them. A panther, a hawk, and some big golem fucker that he has doing stuff for them, and he can cast spells. So he's more of a magic-based character, a mage or something like that, than an outright fighter. He can do physical stuff. There are a few things of him directly attacking enemies and stuff like that, but it's not exactly the same as Dante or Nero. No, he doesn't have a huge fucking sword. He has a little cane that he uses to cast his spells and stuff like that. But he's pretty cool. Kind of a generic emo goth design, but it's pretty decent. Oh yeah, big thing that a lot of people have been losing their fucking minds over is Joker, the main protagonist of Persona 5, being in Smash Brothers. I did not see that coming, especially since Persona 5 isn't even fucking on Switch, and I'm pretty sure the last Shin Megami Tensei game that was ever on a Nintendo console was on fucking NES, but I mean, it was on the NES, so I mean, technically it fits. Like, Shin Megami Tensei was on a Nintendo console. Joker's from the Shin Megami Tensei franchise, so yeah, okay. It was just an animated sequence, so we didn't actually get to see anything, but it's... Yeah, Joker in Smash Brothers. A new big game that's coming from Obsidian is The Outer Worlds, which is... This actually does look really damn good. It's kind of like Fallout, but in outer space. So, if you like Fallout and you like space, then yeah, you got this. And it does actually look like a pretty interesting game. I'm assuming it's gonna be like Fallout, a first-person shooter RPG with all kind of new interesting characters that you can interact with, new cool weapons and enemies that you can fight. It's apparently it's about this frontier planet on the edge of the galaxy that's been taken over by all sorts of different companies and corporations and stuff like that, and this iron grip control over the entire planet and probably a bunch of other planets in this part of the galaxy, in this system. So that's actually pretty fucking decent. Like, I'm not a big Fallout fan. I'm not big into most Bethesda games, with the exception of Doom. So ordinarily I probably wouldn't be that interested in this, but the story seems interesting. The characters seem cool. The world looks really like it'll be really fun to explore and everything like that. So The Outer Worlds I'm actually looking forward to. So, oh right, this is another big one, Psychonauts 2. So I fucking love Psychonauts. It is such a fucking fun game. I love the characters, I love the art style, I love the style of platforming, I love the different psychic abilities that Raz can get. It's one of my favorite fucking PlayStation 2 era games, even though I didn't actually play it until like 5 years ago. But it was such a great game. I honestly didn't think we'd ever get a Psychonauts 2, but here we are, Psychonauts 2, and it looks to be just as fucking interesting as the first one is, because Raz has officially been inducted into the Psychonauts organization, stuff like that, and I think it was Sasha 9, I can't remember exactly, but I think it was him talking to Rasputin and kind of explaining all the different minutiae of being part of the Psychonauts organization and the different minds that he can encounter. But no, it wasn't 9. It was Agent Cruller. That's it. It was Agent Cruller talking to him, trying to give him advice and telling him he should watch out while he's working for Psychonauts, because Oleander, that's it. Oleander wasn't... I kind of think he's hinting that Oleander from the first game wasn't an anomaly. Like, there are really fucked up people in the Psychonauts organization, and if he wants to do good and he wants to be a Psychonaut and he wants to, help people, he has to watch out for guys like Oleander was. So, and there was a hint at the end of the trailer of this new villain. It kind of looked feminine, I'm not entirely sure, but there was this new villain, this new shadowy figure and stuff like that. So that's I'm gonna be keeping an eye on this. And just for the record, I've mentioned that I like the general art style of Marvel vs. Capcom, Marvel Ultimate Alliance, but in terms of graphical fidelity, this is what they should have aimed for. Like, that general art style, but with this level of graphics. And it's fucking Nintendo, it's fucking Team Ninja, and it's motherfucking Marvel. They could have done something like this, but, what? They also announced Crash Team Racing, which is not surprising. I mean, they had the Crash Insane trilogy last year, and that was a fucking like that made a lot of fucking money. So it's not really surprising that they would bring back Crash Team Racing too. Not a lot to say there. I didn't actually play a lot of Crash Team Racing. I didn't play any Crash Team Racing. I never played this fucking game. So I don't really have anything to say about that, except I know a lot of people who really like this game, and they're probably really excited for it, and I'm happy for them. And I might get it myself, but it's not like one of those massive erection type deals. Like, I'm not that excited about this. So there was the trailer for a new game. I think it's a new indie game called The Last Campfire. I have no fucking clue what it's about. It's about these dudes in little parkas, I think. It's vaguely reminiscent of Journey, and they're going to places and doing things, and there's something about fire, I think. It's one of those artsy games that I can dig if I'm in the right frame of mind for it, but I have no idea what the fuck this game is about. And then the big thing, one I'm very surprised by and really glad about, but also frustrated about, because they didn't fucking tell us anything. Dragon Age 4 or Dragon Age Dreadwolf Rises. I don't know. The fucking thing ended with a hashtag Dreadwolf Rises. Like, I don't fucking... Okay, so Solus is gonna be important in this story, I guess, because we find out at the end of Dragon Age Inquisition, spoilers for a fucking 5-year-old game, we find out that Solus is actually one of the old elven gods, Dreadwolf. And he disappeared after you kill Corypheus, and there was a DLC story for Inquisition called the Below something below, where you go looking for Solus, but I never played it, so I don't know what the fuck it is. Like, okay, Solus is gonna be a major player in Dragon Age 4, whatever the fuck it's gonna be, but the fucking teaser trailer they showed gave us goddamn nothing. It's this weird skeletal statue thing, and then it's a relief of the weird skeletal statue with Solus staring down at what I think was a dragon, and that's it. Like, you hear Solus talking to someone. I'd imagine the Inquisitor, but I don't know. Talking to whoever that he figured someone would try and find him eventually, and now he has, and I don't fucking know. So after that, nothing really. I really want to know more about Dragon Age, but we got more of Anthem. Like I think we finally got to see who the main bad guy is, so that's kind of interesting. But it also looks like he's wearing the same, like, not the same javelin power armor thing, but something similar to it. So I don't know. I still really don't care about Anthem. I realized that if someone kind of played and studied Anthem, like gameplay-wise, you could use Anthem as the blueprints for a really badass Iron Man game. Like, I feel like as far as I can tell, that's probably the biggest contribution to gaming Anthem's gonna provide, if it happens. Like they basically just copied Anthem and made an Iron Man game. I don't care about the Far Cry games. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm not really interested in them. I have no real interest in ever playing one. Voss from Far Cry 3 was probably my favorite villain of all time, and I've never even played the fucking thing. But other than that, I don't really care about Far Cry. So the fact that there's a new one and it's set in the apocalypse, and you have these two twin chicks with white hair who are attacking some settlement or whatever the fuck. Like, they have some cool weapons, like cool new improvised weapons, but other than that, Far Cry New Dawn, it's a new Far Cry game, there you go. Raid, similarly, I don't really have that much opinion on. I don't really care about it. It's a thing. It's happening. There's lots of guns. It's Mad Max style shit. They're putting more neon in it. And I'm cool with that. Because Rage 1 was a lot of brown and not much else. It had yellow, but it was really undersaturated. Like, really not a lot of differentiating colors, just gray and brown and black. At least they're doing something new with this, so... And the trailer actually played Ain't It Funny by Danny Brown. And if you haven't listened to Danny Brown, you should. Danny Brown is fucking amazing. I recently I've heard of him before, but I've never actually listened to any of his songs. Then this got me interested, and I started listening, and holy shit, this dude is fucking amazing. So okay, Rage 2 actually did something good. It reintroduced me to Danny Brown, and you should listen to Danny Brown. Okay, so yeah. And then they announced winter maps for PUBG and Season 7 for Fortnite, and okay. I don't play either. I don't care about either. I don't actively hate either. Like I know Fortnite gets a lot of shit because it's fucking everywhere, but I don't really... Like, I'm not against Fortnite. I don't care about Fortnite. Like, Fortnite can exist. Like my two little cousins, they fucking love Fortnite. They play it a lot, apparently. So, them playing Fortnite, I'm glad for them. Other people playing Fortnite, I'm glad for them. I don't give a shit about Fortnite. I like the art style in Fortnite. I like the character design and the art style in Fortnite. That's about it. PUBG, I could give half less of a shit about. Again, don't hate it. If you like it, good for you. I don't give a shit. But now, the big one. The one everyone is talking about. The one that got everyone excited for. The one even people who don't like the Game Awards had to give the Game Awards some credit for including this. Mortal Kombat 11. We finally got the first taste of Mortal Kombat 11, and holy shit! Like, okay, first of all, yeah, we're sticking with the whole evil Raiden thing that was established at the end of Mortal Kombat X. And Scorpion is the first... Like, we get our first new look at Scorpion, like in the trailer for Mortal Kombat X, but instead of him fighting Sub-Zero like usual, it's Scorpion fighting Raiden, and Raiden completely fucking wrecks Scorpion, and even does a new fatality that uses electricity to blow up his head. It was fucking amazing. But then another Scorpion comes in and fucking fire dashes through Raiden's midsection, and then cuts off his head and uses the get over here on his severed head. It was fucking awesome. So apparently there's going to be a new gear system, or a new customization system similar to the gear system from Injustice 2, and that's going to be a whole new thing. And there's some sort of time bullshit going on. Like at the end of the trailer we saw who I'm assuming is one of the Elder Gods, like touching a giant hourglass. So I have a feeling that there's going to be some there's going to be more time travel bullshit, which I'm cool with, because people get like there are people who are against time travel storylines if it's handled well or just completely batshit. I can get into time travel stories like Hyrule Warriors. So in Hyrule Warriors, it's not exactly a bullshit time travel story, but it's taking different characters from different Zelda timelines and putting them into one and having them all fight each other. If it's something like that, I can dig this. So that's probably gonna be cool. And also, like after the Game Awards, it announced that Shao Kahn is going to be pre-order DLC, and and you can pre-order it now, like right the fuck now, and it's the open beta. If you pre-order the game now, you get both Shao Kahn and the opportunity to be in the open beta, which is going to be sometime in January. I forgot exactly, but yeah, like that's every major game I can think of from the Game Awards. I might have missed something, and if I did, I'm sorry. But overall, this is pretty decent. Again, I didn't actually watch the Game Awards itself, and from what little I've seen, I'm glad I didn't, because it's the fucking Game Awards and it's cringy as shit. There could have been some funny, but I don't fucking care. So, yeah. All these games, most of these games, some of these games, I'm really excited about. The ones I'm looking forward to most are Hades, and one thing, I'm gonna be annoyed if Hades turns out to be the bad guy in this, like the ultimate, you have to actually kill Hades in order to escape the underworld, because Hades gets a bad fucking rap. Like, Hades was actually a good dude. Like, I've gone over this in my God of War videos that Hades was actually a really good dude. Like, he was the nicest out of his three brothers. That's whatever. So Hades, I'm looking forward to. Psychonauts 2, I'm looking forward to. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, I'm looking forward to. Devil May Cry 5, Dragon Age, assuming we get more information on it and doesn't suck ass. You know, those are the ones I'm most excited about right now. Although, admittedly, Dragon Age, my excitement is tempered with fear because EA's been fucking up a lot lately. And I know this is BioWare, and BioWare is great, but I mean, let's be real. Dragon Age Inquisition was good. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. Not the best it could have been. Like technically and mechanically, it was kind of a step down from Origins, which is surprising because Origins, graphically and mechanically, was really dated, even when it came out. But that's what I think. That's my opinions. If you don't like them, too fucking bad. My No Mercy, the Mad Hatter. I'll see y'all later.